600 miles of remembrance. It's a very special NASCAR.com GarageCam presented by Mobile One. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, live streaming here on NASCAR.com, and I'm joined with a very special guest, U.S. Navy Lieutenant Jesse Iwuji. What's up, man? You're co-hosting GarageCam. How is it being here in the NASCAR garage?
Oh, this is awesome. Being here in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Today's going to be a pretty fun day. Sitting here with GarageCam. Glad I could do it with you, and thank you for having me out here today.
And you're not just a guy, that's serving our great nation. You're a racer too, man.
Yeah, so I'm also active duty in the Navy, and I'm racing in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. So yeah. It's been going pretty good this year. I just had my first top 10 finish last weekend and my 5th start, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, just pushing from there.
Out at Orange Show Speedway, a little bull ring, and I'll tell you what, one of NASCAR's great home tracks there. And now it comes full circle. NASCAR home tracks also are fine men and women in the armed services here, actually co-hosting GarageCam alongside me. I'm very proud to have Jesse alongside me here as we pay tribute to those who have fallen in the line of duty. That's what Memorial Day is all about, people. Remember that. This isn't just a day to thank your servicemen, which you should do, but this is a day to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms, and our freedoms to be here racing each and every week.
Yeah, so here today, as we're going around at GarageCam, something that you're going to see on all the cars is on the back of the windows, you're going to see different fallen soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen who have served in the line of duty on different deployments, different times, anywhere from, the Vietnam War, even World War II, all the way up through, Iraq. So, you're going to see these names on the back of each car. Some of these cars have the names on them right now, some of them don't, but when you see them, you know that they're paying tribute to all of our fallen soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors who have, given that ultimate sacrifice to protect our country and our freedoms.
And you see Danica Patrick with a special paint scheme, a lot of special paint schemes here in the garage area at NASCAR, paying tribute. Red, white, and blue American flag, camouflage, and Danica Patrick with a pretty sporty one here as well. Making all the noise out here is this car, the number 16. Greg Biffle, the Cheez-It machine, and then Eric Amarola right here. Of course, a team that really is behind this 600 miles of remembrance. Air Force on this number 43 Richard Petty Motorsports machine, this Ford Fusion.
Yeah, cool thing about the Air Force sponsorship with this car is it's really awesome that the Petty Motorsports and stuff is really pushing the Air Force and really helping them get their name out there, helping recruit more people so that they can serve in this country. And it's just a great way to do it through NASCAR, since many of the NASCAR fans are very, very pro-military.
Let me ask you a question about that, Jesse. I mean, you, as a guy that serves our country, you're U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
When you see the NASCAR communities, from the fans in the stands to the crew guys here in this garage area to the drivers, and you see that pride in not only remembrance but paying tribute to even you guys serving, what does that feel like?
It's awesome. I mean, it's just really, really nice to know that the people that you're racing in front of, the people that you're racing for, your teammates, everyone around you is really supporting what you're doing. It's just been a huge blessing. It's been really, really good. And it's just great to know that, America really does love its military, because we're out there giving that sacrifice every single day. And to have that kind of support just really helps us continue to push to do what we can do.
And of course, military is all about teamwork. When you ask these guys that are serving, it's not an individual effort. It's all people working together as a team. We see that so much here in this garage area in NASCAR, with all these teams working on these machines right here. Motoring through this pit area right here, I've got to mention, we were talking about this before the show. The number 38 of Landon Castle on this car is U.S. Army Earl Platt, 1926. He was taken from us, but one of the coolest stories I've heard. He was trapped behind enemy lines in Germany. Okay, this is an unbelievable story. You got to listen to this. Trapped behind enemy lines with no ammunition. Okay, so he MacGyvered it. He did something that I have so much respect for. The guy pieced together something that looked like a Tommy gun, using like a lawnmower tire and some other things he could find, and captured some Germans. He didn't have a gun. You want to talk about American creativity and ingenuity and incredible courage. You talk about this right here.
Yeah, so I mean that's just really, really awesome. Really, really, just the amount of thought to put into that to make something like that happen was just awesome. I mean, in the military, when we're going through our basic training, when we're going through boot camp, any kind of training we do, we're always taught to try to find a way, figure it out, and get through whatever situation you're into. Especially, you know, if you get put into a situation where you might end up being a prisoner of war. We're taught a lot of different things to get out of those situations and a lot of different things to get through those situations. A lot of people during that time period and also during, you know, Vietnam and other wars have been taken prisoner and may have been prisoner anywhere from, you know, a few months anywhere to 6-7 years. So to be able to handle that and get through that and just, you know, think on your feet and keep on pressing through the stress, it's awesome.
And what a unique story this is, because it's not just people that have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice, maybe recently, you know, but this is 1926, and there's so many people that we've lost in World War I and World War II that this weekend we're also paying tribute to.
Yeah, so that's one thing that, you know, I think the American public has to remember. This weekend is about the people who have fallen. You know, a lot of people want to thank the veterans who are still here today, which is awesome, and that's great, and, you know, I want to thank them for that. But this weekend really is about all the, you know, soldiers, airmen, Marines, you know, everybody who have paid that ultimate sacrifice. That's what this weekend is about, and we always have to remember that.
Casey Mears' car.
So let's swing over here to Clint Boyer's car. So Clint Boyer today, or this weekend, he's going to be honoring Master Sergeant Tara Brown. So the reason why I wanted to swing over here is just so people can recognize that, hey, you know, it's not only men that are passing away, that are dying in combat, it's also females too. Females are paying the same ultimate sacrifice as the guys are too. They're doing the same things we're doing. They're out there in the field with us. They're helping us out. They're supporting different roles, and anything can happen. Anytime you step foot off the U.S. soil and you go on deployment, you can pass away. And that's a sad, you know, fact about it, but you know, that's what happens. So you always have to remember that it's not only the guys, you know, women are out there too, fighting just as hard as we are.
Yeah, war does not discriminate, and it's something that we pay tribute to this weekend here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Especially looking at this Geico military paint scheme right here, this has got to get you pretty jacked up. No matter what branch of the military you're in. You know, of course, you're in the Navy. My father was served in the Navy. In the 60s, and then my soon-to-be nephew marrying my niece. He's over deployed in Italy right now, serving in the Navy.
Yes, and Chris Wright, he's being honored on this car this weekend. He's an Army guy. He passed away in 2010. The crazy thing, I was just looking at, you know, a little bit of information on him. And he was born the same year I was born, 1987, and he passed away the same year that I graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy. So, you know, just goes back, and I just think about all the time that, hey, you know, when I took that oath when I graduated, I took that oath to protect, you know, our freedoms out here. And that same year, there was people there who've already been in the military who are currently protecting, and, you know, just to know that, you know, things like that can happen at any time. You know, it's pretty hard to deal with sometimes, but, you know, I'm glad, you know, that we are out here doing what we're doing and making things happen so that we can enjoy, you know, great weekends like this.
And of course, support your troops. The Goodyear getting involved in this weekend as well, and pretty cool to see that on the side of these Goodyears.
If you don't mind me jumping in here,
Producer
Dillner.
Justin Beatty.
Just wanted to remind, I'm sure the fans watching right now can see it, but there is a ticker that is on the bottom of your screen while you're watching GarageCam that we put together that has the names scrolling by, a little bit of information about the soldiers that are being honored this weekend. So just a reminder, you know, when you look at that, of what is being remembered here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, that's one thing that we have to keep in mind. We're all having fun here at the racetrack, okay? Being at the racetrack is one of the greatest freedoms, personally, that I can say in my life, because I love nothing more than being at a racetrack. But remember, folks, we're all here and we all have this freedom for a reason, because people have sacrificed for that freedom. So very blessed to be an American. Krista Burrell, Matt D, can I please see the Brian Scott car and the Carl Edwards car, please? Well, there you go, Krista. Here's your number 44, Twisted Tea, Hard Iced Tea machine of Brian Scott, the Richard Petty Motorsports machine.
Yeah, so today this weekend he's going to be honoring PFC Warbinus. He passed away in Iraq at just age 20 years old. So
from Idaho too.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, Brian Scott's from Idaho, which is pretty interesting. I raced a lot of different races at Meridian Speedway up there. But yeah, PFC of Warbinus, he died at this age 20. So it just goes to show that, you know, the people that are passing away, they're not older. These young men and women are very, very young. Some of them 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old. And, you know, it's just sad to see that. But they're going out there and, you know, giving their life for us.
And we got Brian Scott standing right here and paying tribute to somebody on your windshield right there that's actually fought and served and paid the ultimate sacrifice, and from Idaho too. So
yeah, we're really excited to have my friend John Barbonis on the car. Unfortunately, we have to honor him because he lost his life, but very fortunately we get a chance to honor him. This is such a great weekend for NASCAR and the military to pay tribute to them and all these neat paint schemes, all the wonderful soldiers that are above the windshield. It'll be really great. Hopefully it's worth a little speed if we can get to the finish.
you know, race car drivers typically don't need that much motivation to go fast and to perform. You know, you got you want to win, you got family, all that, but a little extra motivation this weekend.
Definitely, a lot extra motivation. Like you said, we don't really need it, but we'll take any bit of motivation we can get, and we got an awful lot with my buddy John Barbonis on the car.
Thank you, Brian Scott. We appreciate it right there, and a great story. This number 4014. Skipping along right here, the David Reagan machine, the number 23 Bubba Berger Toyota. Right alongside Matt DiBenedetto with a beautiful hope for the Warriors. 10 years of hope. Paint scheme on board with the Eagle. Look at that. That is one of the nicest looking airbrush paint scheme deals I've seen in a long time on the hood of this number 83 Matt DiBenedetto.
Yeah, and this weekend we're honoring Corporal Jared Verbeek. He's a U.S. Marine, but kind of hits a little bit close to home because he's from Visalia, California. I'm living up in Monterey, California now because I'm stationed at Naval Postgraduate School. So just, you know, I've been through that area a few times. So, you know, just seeing some of these names and seeing where they're from, you know, really kind of hits close to home because, you know, these guys are from where you are. You know, they're just like me and you.
Just like me and you, people's sons, people's daughters, people's brothers.
Yeah, he had an 18-month-old son when he passed away, so that's pretty sad.
And right alongside Chris Buescher rocking the camo scheme this weekend for Chris Buescher, the number 34 Front Row Motorsports machine. A loud garage area right now. That's because Michael Annette's car is tuning up. Okay, we got about 20 minutes before first practice here for Coca-Cola 600 weekend. 600 miles of remembrance. And I'll tell you what, these teams, a lot of them were here last week for the All-Star race, but they are scrapping. They are fighting hard with these cars, getting them tuned up for the first practice session. A big race weekend and a lot of bragging rights here. The hometown race. We walk alongside a guy giving autographs, passing them out like they're candy right here is Ricky Stenhouse, and a new paint scheme for you this weekend, and a very important weekend to you know, respect and remember those who have fought and fallen.
Yeah, that's what's always neat about this weekend. You know, Charlotte Motor Speedway gets, you know, and NASCAR get all the teams to buy into, you know, remembering those that have given everything for us to come out here and race every week. So. We got one of Jack's friends on the car this weekend, Jim Woolard, his next door neighbor. Growing up, I think he died in Vietnam when he was 19 or 20, but it was Jack's next door neighbor when Jack was growing up. So it's cool to have him on the car. Hopefully we can get our Fastenal Ford up front all night, but especially today, starting in qualifying trim here. So let's go fast at Charlotte.
All right, Ricky Stenhouse, driver of the number 17 Fastenal machine. Halfway, says Jamie Vansel, halfway.
Yeah, so, you know, just like he mentioned, yeah, I mean, they're honoring everyone. It's not just from people who are just, you know, passed away in the last few years, you know, in Iraq or Afghanistan. It's everybody, you know, Vietnam, World War II, everybody. So, you know, it's great that we're honoring all veterans who have given that ultimate sacrifice.
Reed Sorensen's number 55 car, Josh Wise, the number 30. We're going to cut through this garage right here. And, of course, Brenda Worley checking in on our interactive garage here. Our service people is what it's all about, and there's so much pride in this community, not just the men and women here that work on these race teams and pilot these super fast NASCAR Sprint Cup Series cars, but the fans here. So much pride. We saw it after 9/11 when we went back to Dover for that first time and saw that pride, that immense display of American pride that gave you goosebumps when you're on the grid of that race. And you know, it's something that NASCAR just does right. Not that other sports don't, but there's just something about NASCAR and the way they do it with paying tribute to the men and women of our armed services. Fastenal paint scheme right here looking pretty spiffy. What do you think, bud?
Oh, it's looking great. I'm loving it. All the different paint schemes for this weekend, a lot of different patriotic ones, which is great. And, you know, it'd be nice if they could keep these on for a few more races, don't you think?
Trevor Bain's number 6 car here. Pretty neat paint scheme on board this for the Tennessee native. TB, I'm talking to a lot of these guys this week. A lot of events going on here in the area from the Little 600, which we'll actually have a piece about, I believe, tomorrow on NASCAR.com. You got to check it out. It was probably one of the races of the year. It was amazing. So make sure you check that out on NASCAR.com. We'll have a lot of pieces for you. Of course, Jonathan Merriman, our lead reporter, here all weekend. But this AvoCare machine right here, Trevor Bain, a lot of these people enjoying being home for the weekend. Yeah, for 2 weeks here in Charlotte. 10 days of thunder here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ryan Newman, the Whalen Engineering number 31 Chevrolet, being pushed out. They'll turn this car around, get it pointed in the right direction for when they decide to pull out for the first practice session right here. AJ Allmendinger's number 47 car.
Yeah, so AJ Allmendinger, he's going to be honoring YN3 Wendell Williams, who he died in 1991. He actually was born in 1965, so you know, he was around in the Navy for a little while. But yeah, you know, just once again, you know, the people who are out there doing the great things that they're doing for this nation, they're not only on the ground in combat, you know, like the Army folks and Marines and everything. You know, they can be out at sea too. Different things happen, even like the USS Cole back in 2000 when that got hit by a terrorist boat and exploded. You know, a lot of people died in that, and yeah, so you know, no one's safe when they go on deployment.
Casey Kane, the Liftmaster Chevrolet right here. Casey Kane saying this week that some of the rumors that are going around are not a distraction. So Casey Kane hoping to come here, a place where he's led a lot of laps. If you look at the all-time lap leaders here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Casey Kane is among the top 10 in the lap leaders here. So Casey Kane, a guy that you know can get it done here. 23 starts, 4 wins here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Leah Bartlett, please, would love to see Casey Kane. Pretty please. Well, just because you said pretty pleased, right? Pretty pleased is a good thing. If you're going to say anything, say like please, right? I love it.
Please works. That works too.
I love our fans on our chat room and our interactive garage. Sorry we're not giving you as many shout outs. This is a very special garage cam. To have Jesse alongside of us here is something that we're all very, very proud of here at NASCAR.com.
So this car right here, they're honoring Ryan Blaney. He's honoring Seaman Gunn, and Seaman Gunn, he was on the USS Cole when they got hit by the terrorist boat
Wow.
You know, in 2000. And that really changed a lot of things for the Navy. Our anti-terrorism, you know, warfare area, we had to really beef that up. You know, security measures and everything. When we go to different ports, we really had to beef up our security because, you know, at that time, it wasn't really as much of a threat as we thought it was. But then once that, you know, suicide bombing boat hit, it really changed a lot of things for us. And him and another 15 or 16 sailors died that day because of that bombing. So, you know, really sad to see. But, you know, just goes to show again, you know, it's a dangerous area when we go out there.
It's a hostile world, but freedom will always prevail, is what I've always thought. And, you know, so many people have to fight for that freedom. Jamie McMurray, the #1 machine here. We'll have a little piece on Jamie McMurray and his crew and the tributes that they're paying this weekend, he and Kyle Larson in this garage. So make sure to keep it tuned. Keep it logged on to NASCAR.com for that. Matt Kenseth, this #20 machine. We always love to see that DeWalt with the American flag on it. One of the prettier paint schemes here in the garage area. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the #88. Nationwide scheme. What a beautiful paint scheme for Dale Earnhardt Jr. this weekend.
This weekend, he's honoring Lieutenant Corporal Reed. He was a Marine, passed away in Iraq. Sad to see once again, but it's great to see the paint scheme that he has. Really patriotic. Has the American flag, stars, stripes, everything on it. So really good to see.
They're right alongside Austin Dillon, the number 3 car.
And there he is, right there.
Austin Dillon, want to introduce you to Jesse Iwuji, live on NASCAR.com. Jesse serves for us in the U.S. Navy and wanted to ask you a question.
I got a Navy member on the car today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how do you feel about this weekend's race? What does it mean to you to be honoring these different veterans who have fallen in the line of duty?
Well, it means a lot to me. Every weekend you see different servicemen and women at the track, and I'm honored to be able to have Mark Carter on my car as a Navy SEAL, and I'm close to a couple of different SEALs. I'm going to have him here at the race weekend this weekend, and just excited to be out there representing these guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had a Navy SEAL crew for me on my car last weekend when I was running at Orange Show Speedway in the K&N West Series. So it's great that you know a bunch of the Navy SEALs there. Yeah, great.
That's awesome there. Austin Dillon getting to meet Jesse Iwuji here, who's a fellow racer himself in the NASCAR K&N Pro West Series, and a pretty awesome deal, not only a service member, but a cross story there, because he's a racer. That's what I like. Hey, I love racing people.
Racing is fun.
Racing is fun. It's one of the most fun things you can do in life. I've always said that.
It's so American. So American.
It purely is. I mean, it's an international sport, but racing in America is just
great.
You know, it's just like apple pie, baseball, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Freedom, baby.
I love apple pie.
I do
Especially
too.
in
I like pumpkin too. I don't discriminate. Here we go, the number 78 car, Martin Truex Jr. But over here is Joey Logano's car, and I want to see if I can talk to Joey real quick. See if we can capture up with Joey. And here's Joey Logano live on NASCAR.com GarageCam, and we're live. And Jesse Iwuji with just walk right in. Jesse Iwuji with the Navy is our guest co-host this week, and wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, so, you know, as a fellow racer, too, I race in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, and I'm active duty Navy. How does this weekend feel? How does it feel to be honoring all these different veterans who have given their life, you know, the ultimate sacrifice for America so they can protect our freedoms and we can race at places like here?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, this is something that Charlotte Motor Speedway, NASCAR, all the teams come together to do a very good job this weekend to really honor our military. You see every single car here with one of our fallen soldiers up on the windshield, and that's something really cool, and to honor them and show them that respect. But also the racetrack, like I said, does a great job before the Coca-Cola 600 all the time, doing something in the pre-race activities. I don't know what it is yet. It's always a surprise, but it's always fun to watch it and see what it is, because you never know what it's going to be, but it's definitely special.
And of course, you're representing somebody on your car that it probably hits home a little bit because it's someone from Connecticut.
Yes. Yeah, and that's, I think Brad has someone from Michigan as well, so kind of neat that it's from our home area, you know, and kind of give you that feeling. And yeah, I don't think her family is going to be at the racetrack this week, but I wish she was, but that's, it is cool kind of to see that, and I think a lot of the families are coming out to the racetrack and got invited, so it's neat that like I said, the teams in NASCAR and everyone kind of put their heads together and figure out some way to do this.
We
That's
appreciate
awesome.
your time, buddy.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Joey. Chase Elliott, the number 24 car here up on scale pads, getting her all dialed in here before practice starts. Margaret, you wanted to chime in and say the pre-race activities at Charlotte Motor Speedway are so special. So many soldiers and such recognition. And you hit the nail right on the head. From the dawn of Humpy Wheeler's crazy antics here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and of course this Memorial Day weekend tradition of the great Coca-Cola 600, we have seen this morph into one of the greatest spectacles in all of motorsports as far as the pre-race show, as far as the tribute to our military. It's just a sight to behold, and you might see it on TV and think it's pretty cool, but you gotta see it in person sometime here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jimmy Johnson's number 48 car. Jimmy Johnson strapping into that machine. 7 wins here at Charlotte, and of course the best driver rating of anyone first start here in the Sprint Cup Series was in 2001. So this is a place that, well, Jimmy Johnson has pretty much owned from the days of Lowe's Motor Speedway when it was sponsored by Lowe's to now. So Jimmy Johnson, that beautiful new paint scheme from Lowe's. It's
looking very patriotic.
It's very patriotic, and you want to talk a guy that leads the charge here. It's Jimmy Johnson. Over 1,700 laps led. This is a guy that knocks down records like you wouldn't believe. He's second to Bobby Allison in that category. It seems like every week on GarageCam, we're talking about another record that Jimmy Johnson's trying to beat.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a great driver. I mean, he's been in the series for a little while, won a lot of championships. Really, just paving the way and just showing what he got. I mean, the guy is amazing.
Brad Keselowski in the Patriotic Deuce right here this weekend. Keselowski, 1 win here, 2013 for the Michigan native, and he has a very special tribute to someone from his home state, the great state of Michigan, on the windshield of his car.
Yeah, the soldier that he's honoring this weekend, Prentler, he passed away in Iraq. He got hit with an IED. For all the fans out there who don't know, an IED is an improvised explosive device, and they can be planted in different areas, under the ground. They can be planted in food, watermelons. They can be planted in anything. So you really got to watch where you're going when you're on deployment, because you never know when you're going to step in that wrong area. That one step could, cost you your life, cost you your leg, an arm, both of your legs, anything. So, it's just how it is when you're over there on deployment.
Roll on over here. Outside into the bright sunshine, we got to make sure we show you all the cars here on NASCAR.com GarageCam. Carl Edwards awaiting his arrival here in the subway machine. Right next door, Kurt Busch in the number 41 Haas Automation machine getting strapped in. Sergeant Gibbs on that car. And the Jimmy John's machine of Kevin Harvick getting ready for battle here. Practice minutes away here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's beautiful paint scheme for Kyle Busch this weekend.
It's really great to see the spread of different services and stuff that are being honored on these windows. All services, Navy, Army, Marines, everything, Air Force. When I was at the U.S. Naval Academy, I had some prior enlisted Marines and also Navy sailors who came to the Academy with us, and some of them have been through a lot. My roommate at the Naval Academy, Eric Montgomery, he lost his brother in Iraq on patrol, and that one really hits home to me because, I had to help him through some tough situations at the Academy, having to deal with that, especially after losing your brother, like that. And his brother had a small child. There's a picture that really resonates to me at the funeral, the small child, just his child reaching out to the coffin and not really knowing what's going on. So it's really sad to see that. But, Eric's done a good job of really helping his family out and everything and helping them through that really tough time.
And we talk about brothers. We talk about brotherhood. Of course, we're standing by Kurt Busch. You got Kyle Busch. So much brotherhood, not just in the literal sense, but in overall. I mean, so much brotherhood in this garage area, and even getting to share that with you here today on GarageCam. Talk about that great welcoming feeling of NASCAR for a guy like you. Hey, you just picked up the mic, and you're walking up to NASCAR drivers asking them questions.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The brotherhood here is really great. I mean, when we get out there on the track, we're all competing against each other. We're hard against each other. We get mad at each other, but that's what brothers do. We fight, when we're out there competing, but then when we're in here, we're all cool. We're all really good people, and we all love each other. We just want to see the best for each other. So it's really awesome to see the brotherhood in NASCAR, and it relates a lot to the military, too, because there's a lot of really, really good camaraderie in the military.
That's awesome. That's awesome. As we show you some of the cars rolling out here in the garage area, I remind you to tune in to the Coca-Cola 600, May 29th. That's Sunday, right after the Indianapolis 500, 6 p.m. on Fox, PRN, and if you're listening on Sirius Satellite XM Radio, of course, whenever I'm driving, I'm on Sirius Satellite Radio. It's a pretty awesome deal right here. But 600 miles of remembrance, so much American pride, and a lot of pride on the line for these race car drivers driving at home here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. who's it gonna be? It's gonna be quite a contested battle. Will Jimmy Johnson prevail, the 7-time winner here? Will it be an underdog like Eric Amarola here in the Air Force, number 43? You got a prediction, bud?
You know what? I'm always going for Jimmy Johnson, so I'm going to say him every single race.
All right, Jesse Iwuji, I just wanted to thank you for helping us co-host here GarageCam on NASCAR.com. It's truly a pleasure. We thank you for your service in the Armed Forces, in the Navy. We really appreciate you. And I wanted to ask you one last question before we leave you on GarageCam here. How much fun are you going to have this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. You're here in Charlotte. This is pretty much NASCAR Central, so really, really excited about this. It's going to be a fun time, and I'm just really happy that we're honoring all the different veterans who have given their life to protect our freedom so that we can come to a nice place like this and experience a great race.
Hey, what better way to pay respect for the people who have paid the ultimate sacrifice than to enjoy that very freedom that they fought for? I'm your host, Matthew Dillner. This is NASCAR.com GarageCam. And folks, until next time, we'll see you at the races.